Championship, and this is a pro fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first in the red corner. He stands 5'5", weighing 145 pounds. Fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio. He represents Rising Dragon, Tobaius Freight Train Taylor. And in the blue corner, he stands 6'3", weighing 145 pounds. Fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Representing Son of Siam. Tonight, making his pro debut, David Slim Reaper Rankin.
I gotta tell you guys, I haven't been this excited for a fight in quite some time.
You could argue this is the most anticipated fight of the night. We are live on Fight TV. Find out more about our upcoming events at cincyfights.com. Taylor is not without his advantages. He can get his hips underneath the very long Rankin if he can get inside. That is much easier said than done.
Absolutely. Yeah, the lower center of gravity is an advantage, but those limbs are lethal. Oh, a nice left from Taylor there.
This 6'2" Rankin looks every bit of 6'6" in the cage.
Absolutely. And that's a disadvantage in itself. Sometimes you see he's kind of leaning in, fighting a little shorter than he could. And it's just to get those, get those hands at the same level.
Thus far, every time that Rankin has come inside, Taylor's cracked him.
Taylor tries with that big right. Ooh. The Scythe of the Reaper.
Taylor with a series of leg kicks on Rankin.
Yeah, like Rashawn said, sometimes you got to be the spoiler, and that could be Taylor's role tonight.
Taylor's fighting a very good fight early on, waiting for Rankin to get in his range, landing a strike, getting out, then resetting. He's making Rankin bring the fight to him without allowing him to fight outside of range.
Some big shots from Taylor there.
Yeah, Tobaius is using some great striking, some great boxing. He's doing the 1-2 every time Rankin steps in.
You've seen that teep kick from Rankin there.
That was a beautiful combination from Taylor. He went to the body, opened up the head. Huge right hand.
Right.
He needs to capitalize. He needs to capitalize.
He's hurt.
Hammer fist.
See if he can save.
Giant hammer fist from Taylor.
See if he can save this from the ground.
Rankin's bell was wrong.
This has been a flawless fight from Taylor thus far.
Here we go, getting into the half guard. And again, this is a professional fight, so elbows are legal here.
Now the frame of Taylor is going to be hard for Rankin to deal with here. He's got a much more compact frame.
Absolutely.
His weight is all over the hips of Rankin.
Almost a reminiscence of a Sean Shirt, just very small, very tight fighter.
He's fighting a smart fight. He just relaxed, calm down. He's choosing his strikes.
Triangle set up.
See what Taylor can do with it.
The arm is in though.
Very slick from
Could set
Taylor.
up an arm bar from here, but he's up against the cage. I do like how Taylor switches from keeping his weight on the hips of Rankin to putting them on the shoulders of Rankin, which opens up things like we're seeing now. Rankin hoping to get back up to his feet, and does. And if you're Rankin, this is where you want to be, despite the fact that you got knocked silly earlier.
Absolutely. Oh, a nice cross, or a nice jab from Rankin there.
Sometimes it takes getting the snot knocked out of you to get your head in the game.
Yeah, he's got to get woke up.
And if you're Tobaius Taylor, you got to feel real good right now about your chances on the feet, your chances on the ground.
Absolutely.
And now Rankin has found more success since getting up than he did before he got cracked.
Oh, a headshot from Taylor.
We saw that for almost 2 years out of Jose Shorty Torres, who transitioned from Titan FC to UFC. He would almost have to get dropped. And
wow.
Rankin got dropped again.
Taylor capitalizing on another drop.
Oh, that elbow.
Rankin doing okay, getting his composure back. He's taking some big shots still.
These are violent blows from Taylor.
like you said, small frame, so much power, so quickly.
As I was saying, sometimes Josie Shorty Torres had to get cracked before he got back into the fight. Unfortunately, in his last one, that one shot was too much for him, and that streak ended. David Rankin has never tasted defeat before. This is a situation that is unfamiliar. It's uncharted waters for him.
Absolutely. I mean, with that, the 10-0 amateur record is very impressive, but professional league is a different world.
A totally different transition. Dealing with different guys with different strengths, different looks.
Oh, nice little combination in the Panzer from Taylor, coming in heavy. Rankin trying to defend himself. I mean, like you said earlier, Sean, this is Taylor's job. This isn't just a hobby for him. This is a career.
And I mean, with Rankin having the experience that he does, and as long as he's been in it, you know that he expects this to be his life. He expects this to be his career.
Absolutely. I mean, he's young, 10-0, pro debut. He's got nothing but a bright future.
That was an outstanding round for Taylor. You know, we talked about how Nathan Fitch cornered David Rankin. And this is almost a reflection of Fitch's first pro fight himself, where he had that extended career outside of being a professional. He stepped in against Rico Ralston, and things didn't go his way when everybody was expecting him to dominate.
Yeah, sometimes the favorite is not necessarily the winner, but I will say I'm almost intimidated by Taylor. I mean, an amazing performance, and I don't think he dropped a bead of sweat. He looks completely collected.
Anytime that he throws anything besides a jab or a straight, he throws it to end the fight.
Absolutely.
Absolute bad intention with every punch that he threw. But I'll have to give props to Rankin for taking those monstrous blows and still being able to get up and finish that round.
Yeah, a young fighter, never really been rung before. Too quick, collective. You know, got his composure back. That's a statement in itself.
And that could be the benefit of his extended amateur career. And he's seen Chris Curtis, and he's seen Nathan Fitch. He's probably been cracked before. Maybe not as much inside the cage, but definitely at Son of Siam.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to train at Son of Siam for 5 years and not get hit like that.
I can attest that.
Taylor working the body lock. His hips, as I mentioned, already underneath Rankin. So a lot of that work is done. He just has to get body-to-body contact. Big knee from Rankin. Separates.
Body shot from Rankin.
He smells blood. But Taylor doesn't care.
Just a battle out here today with this pro debut of David Rankin.
We've talked about the Honest Choice Security Fight of the Night, which you all can find out about at CincyFights.com. This one's in the running as Taylor lands that huge takedown on Rankin.
That was a super clean double leg takedown.
Rankin sets up for a triangle.
It looks like it could be in.
It could be in. He's going to work to get the arm across. Can he do it? He's pushing it.
That looks deep.
He's got a lot of time to work. Can Rankin pull it off?
That is deep.
Taylor looks like he's coming out the back door.
Oh, and he's out. Oh, my God.
Taylor manages to get out. What an escape from Taylor.
That is composure 101. Didn't panic. That was in deep. I got to give Taylor some credit there.
Taylor is having a great performance. Rankin is showing some incredible heart.
Absolutely. This is a brawl.
We talked about how much you learn in amateur fights. This is a fight where David Rankin is going to learn a lot, win, lose, or draw.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he is still threatening off of his back into the second round, deep into the second round, says a lot about him. He is ready to be here. He belongs here.
And I don't think that was a doubt in anyone's mind, but if it was, it has been proven wrong in this performance. Got Taylor moving into the half guard. Rankin looking for maybe a shoulder lock.
Yeah, Rankin trying to retain wrist control, worked for that double wrist lock, but Taylor recognized it.
And that goes with the pro experience.
I know I've seen some fighters kind of bait that out, get that attention drawn, and then come in with some heavy hits.
Again, Taylor with all that weight on the hips of Rankin. That's just beautiful wrestling.
It's making him carry all his weight. And that's tiring in itself.
Rankin retains guard. You see him pull up the right leg. You know what's coming.
Absolutely. But I think Taylor knows that as well. He's trying to get out of there.
He postures up. You want to keep your posture straight up or all the way down. If you hang around in there halfway, you're going to get choked out. But the thing is, with Rankin's body, if you hang out by his body, you might get that too, because he can work those legs up so much easier than somebody with short legs.
Absolutely. It's a big advantage to have, especially against a smaller opponent.
And this is where Rankin's long limbs may actually be a detriment. A lot of times if you see professional fighters close their guard these days, they're throwing elbows. You saw it in Bisping versus GSP. Bisping was closing the guard, throwing elbows, beating up GSP from his back. Rankin's limbs are so long, that's a lot easier said than done for him.
And as you see the elbows from there.
I mean, that's virtually the only reason I see to close a guard these days, is to throw that, or if you're getting beat up real bad and you're desperate for something. But I don't think Rankin's necessarily desperate. He just saw the opportunity for elbows.
I hear chop the legs coming from the corner of Taylor.
Now you have to watch for the up kick from a guy that size.
Absolutely.
Our main eventer, Justin Edwards, was beating the brakes off of Tony Ferguson on The Ultimate Fighter and ate an up kick and lost the fight. Rankin now using that range to open things up.
Oh,
and that head kick, we almost saw shades of Williamstown.
Good little two-piece from Taylor.
That right hand of Taylor is something to be reckoned with.
Ooh, big kick from Rankin.
You have to watch out for that head kick from Rankin wherever you are in the cage.
Yeah, he can cover a lot of distance very quickly. And that's our second round.
A great round from both men. I still got to give that to Taylor. He's got to be up 20-18 thus far. Nice, Sean. What do you think?
It's a really, that was a really tight round. Definitely a stark contrast from the first round where Taylor just completely dominated. Rankin threw up more submissions, threw a little bit more striking. It was a really tight round.
Ultimately, I think the power shots and the takedowns, top control of Taylor got it done. Shane, what do you think?
I agree with both of you. Not a lot of significant strikes that second round. Not a lot of significant movement from either fighter, but Rankin got the nice triangle, but Taylor did a pretty good job keeping him on his back, so tough call.
Rankin very well may need a win or a finish to win this, and that is not out of the discussion.
Not at all.
That is not out of the discussion until that final bell rings or the final horn sounds.
There we go. Round 3 of our co-main event. Taylor looking to finish this fight. Rankin with a mean teep kick.
Rankin has gotten better as the fights went on, especially with his range, especially with picking his shots. But Tobaius Taylor just won't let him get comfortable.
Absolutely not. He will not let him get comfortable. He won't let him set a pace.
I mean, if you're Taylor, this is probably the best fight you can fight right now. The way he's performing, he's doing exactly what he needs to do.
He's not throwing any single shots. Just maybe some to back Rankin up a little bit. But he's throwing every combo in the book that he has learned throughout his years of training.
Taylor's definitely not letting him off the hook easy.
And now as Rankin starts to wade in a little bit with into the pocket, Taylor's making him pay with leg kicks.
Absolutely. I mean, both fighters doing a good job here, feeling each other out. A couple shots coming either way. Taylor definitely getting the points here, though. This is definitely Taylor's round so far.
Now, if you're Rankin, this is where you want to be. Well, not here. You want to have Taylor backed against the cage. You want to work that Nick and Nate Diaz style, even the Chris Cyborg style where you back him up against the cage. You're fighting at the end of your punches. They don't have anywhere to escape. They can't go right. They can't go left because range will meet them no matter what.
And Rankin showing that knee.
Yeah, it started to look like he wanted it. Taylor with a nice kick. Checked by Rankin. Taylor with some big shots.
Yeah, Rankin.
Crazy combo from Taylor, and it sets up the takedown.
Yeah.
Picture perfect.
Yeah, Rankin trying to play that inside game with Taylor, and that's not where he want to be. He should be using his height and his length.
Taylor working for that guard. I'm sorry, Rankin working for that guard.
Again, the weight on the hips of Rankin. Rankin will, you would think that he would try to work his legs up here, but he doesn't have a lot of room to work because he's up against the cage. Not where Rankin wants to be.
Using those elbows from the bottom.
That's really the best thing he can do right now is try to slice Taylor open, maybe affect his vision a little bit, but even then you only have 2.5 minutes to work. Keep his mind off of his posture, then maybe set up that triangle.
Taylor fighting smart, you know, getting the points right now. Staying on top, keeping the weight on him.
Yeah, Rankin definitely has to think about the finish.
If you're Rankin, you can throw your elbows from here. They are legal. That does not qualify as a 12-6 from your back like that. You have to be essentially on top, bringing them from the ceiling down to the floor.
Yeah, I know that's it's been a bit of controversy in the past, but that is legal.
Rankin is setting up the right elbow to get that right arm of Taylor through for a triangle, but Taylor recognizes it and stands up. Wise decision from Taylor in my estimation. He was being baited.
That was a really good kick. Taylor blocked it.
A flying knee and a big knee from
Big
Rankin.
knees.
Taylor doing a good job.
Huge elbow. The strikes. Here they come.
Tobaius is hurt.
Tobaius is on his bike.
I think someone's either getting knocked out or knocking somebody out.
Right.
Here we go with the takedown.
If Rankin can land this choke, if he can get his arm underneath, he's got a really nice piece of leverage here. If he can work that arm underneath and apply a guillotine choke.
Here we go with that. Taylor trying to get the legs.
Right now, Rankin seems more concerned with stopping the takedown than trying to finish. Could he switch?
And Taylor getting some shots in on the inner thigh of Rankin here. Pushing up against the cage.
Oh, Rankin's about to go, or looked like he was about to go for a ride. Taylor's head is out. This is bad news for Rankin.
And Taylor's working those knees on the inside of that thigh.
Beautiful trip. Inside trip from Tobaius Taylor. Fantastic.
Rankin coming in with the short, quick elbows, trying to play off the cage.
Rankin desperately working, trying to work up the cage, throwing up kicks. He's got to throw them. Got to throw them. No time for anything else.
Seconds on the clock, and that's our time.
Fantastic pro
fantastic.
debut for David Rankin. Fantastic counter performance from Tobaius Taylor. That was an outstanding fight.
Absolutely. Both
Shane,
fighters.
I got to go with Taylor here. 3 rounds to none.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say both fighters showcased some amazing skills, but Taylor definitely came out on top.
I'm going to third on that, and Taylor just shut him down.
Let's just say we have seen some questionable decisions tonight.
Yes, that we have.
That we definitely have.
Here we have the replay. The takedown from Taylor.
Taylor came here not in his own territory, taking on a hometown boy with a lot of hype behind him. Rankin did not disappoint his fans, as you can hear, but Taylor put on an awesome performance. Not to say that Rankin didn't either, but Rankin has some fine-tuning to do that he surely will do when he gets back in the gym at Son of Cyan.
Absolutely.
All right, fight fans, another outstanding fight here, Premier MMA Championship. Cheer for these warriors. Judge number 1 scores the bout 30-27. Judges 2 and 3 score the bout 29-28. for the winner of this bout by unanimous decision from the red corner, Tobaius, Freight Train,